We can show the crowd out there, and hopefully they have interpreted what has happened here just over the last couple seconds and can appreciate the drama that has played out here at the Cape today. Just a remarkable situation with a mission that has been delayed so many times. We were supposed to take off in October, and many delays, and now here we go, Dan. It's getting close, very close.
All right, we're down to 3.5 minutes to go.
Surface checks are complete. Discovery's 3 main engines will be gimbaled through a pre-programmed series of maneuvers as a final test before launch.
They've got the auxiliary power units started. You can see the main engines moving back and forth. That's one of the last tests.
T-minus 3 minutes and counting. Final pressurization of the external tank's liquid oxygen tank is underway. And we're completing purge of the shuttle main engines.
So it was last November 5th.
TLT, OTC, clear caution, warning memory.
That we got almost this far. They started to fill the shuttle's tank.
TLT in work.
You know, initially, Discovery was supposed to go in September, then it was October, then it was November 5th. On November 5th, they started to fill the tank. They had a leak. They
Gaseous
also
oxygen
found afterwards,
beanie
after
cap
they
is
scrubbed the
slowly
launch,
being
they had cracked
retracted away
the fuel tank.
from the top of the external tank.
Close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow. Copy on work.
Orbiter test conductor John Craxton requesting pilot Eric Bowe clear the caution and warning memory system.
All right, you heard the call. Close and lock your visors.
T-minus
Initiate
2 minutes
O2
and
flow.
counting.
2 minutes and counting.
GLS is go for ET, LH2, pressurization.
Liquid hydrogen replenish on the external tank is being terminated as planned.
And in the interim, one of the most difficult problems ever for the shuttle. The cracks in the fuel tank was finally run down, is finally solved. The fuel tank is okay. It's been checked up 6 ways to Sunday.
T-minus
ready to go.
1 minute, 30 seconds and counting.
They lost a crew member along the way. Tim Copra was injured in a bicycle
About 90
accident.
seconds away from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery on her final mission.
He was replaced by Steve Bowen, an experienced spacewalker, at practically the last minute just a month ago.
T-minus 1 minute, 10 seconds and counting. The liquid hydrogen tank inside the external tank is now at the proper flight pressure.
And now one of the most hair-raising countdowns we've had in a while. And it's
the ground
only
launch
fitting.
sequencer will verify that the 3 main
It's hard to
engines are
launch
ready
a space
start.
shuttle. This will be the last time
Booster joint
for
heaters
Discovery.
are being deactivated
The very
at this
last time.
T-minus 48 seconds, and we're transferring to orbiter internal power. Discovery is now running on 3 onboard fuel cells.
And at 31
Coming
seconds,
up on a go for auto sequence start at T-minus 31 seconds.
they'll turn over the countdown to the computers now.
GLS is go for auto sequence start.
And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions.
6 lives on the line.
20 seconds.
And we're all hoping
The sound
Discovery's
suppression
last
water
flight
system
is a safe one.
has been activated, protecting Discovery and the launch pad from acoustical energy waves.
GLS is go for main engine.
Go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and the final liftoff of Discovery. A tribute to the dedication, hard work, and pride of America's space shuttle team. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
Roger, Discovery. This is Mission Control Houston. The space shuttle now rolling over onto its back for an 8.5-minute ride into orbit. Discovery now making one last reach for the stars. Throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it goes supersonic.
Discovery Houston, you are go at throttle up.
Commander Steve Lindsay acknowledging the call from Capcom Charlie Hobart as Discovery's 3 main engines throttle back up. Lindsay is joined on the flight deck by pilot Eric Bowen, mission specialist Al Drew, and Nicole Stott.
That's better.
Mission specialist Mike Barrett and Steve Bowen. Discovery's 3 main engines are burning fuel at a rate that would drain an average swimming pool in about 25 seconds. The engines, combined with the solid rocket boosters, produce more than 7 million pounds of thrust. 1 minute, 50 seconds into the flight, we're standing by for separation of the twin solid rocket boosters. Discovery now traveling 2,695 miles an hour. Its altitude 24 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 29 miles. Booster separation confirmed. Discovery's guidance is now converging as the shuttle's onboard computers fine-tune the flight.
A thing of beauty.
2 minutes, 25 seconds into the flight, Discovery traveling 3,189 miles an hour. Its altitude 37 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 53 miles.
So long, Discovery.
Discovery now getting a boost into orbit from its twin orbital maneuvering system engines on either side of the shuttle's tail. These 2 engines will burn for 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Your 2-engine TAL, we do have updates to your no-com mode boundaries, and we did launch late into pane 1, our only pane. The contingency aboard boundaries we'll use are in-plane plus 230. Let me know when you're ready to copy the new Presta ATO and Presta MECO.
Okay, when you launch a little late, you got to change what you would do if you were to abort, if they have to abort, and try to make an emergency landing. That's what they're talking about now. I would still like to see if we could get out to Gale. Next chance we have, let me know what that is. And at the moment, beautiful. Look at the Earth. Discovery on its way to a perch 220 miles high.
Emergency landing sites in Europe should one of the engines fail, but all 3 engines continue performing as expected. Capcom Charlie Hobart updating the crew there with some updated time information due to the later than planned launch. 3 minutes and 50 seconds into the flight, the shuttle traveling 4,700 miles an hour.
That is something that came off and hit the space shuttle, and you clearly saw it. Boom.
Negative return.
Bounce off the shuttle a couple of times.
Now traveling too high and too fast to return to the Kennedy Space Center.
That's going to be a matter of concern. Let's mark that. Let's try to get that replayed if we can.
5,200 miles an hour. Its altitude 62 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 170 miles.
All right. It actually probably is not a problem because they're already high enough that there's not enough air to move a piece of debris fast enough to hit the shuttle hard enough to damage it.
It fluttered. You could see it sort of flutter as it
it didn't go very fast.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't go very fast, and that means
4 minutes, 45 seconds
we can hope that it didn't do any damage. But if it did do damage, that's a big deal.
6 miles.
It's right at about 4 minutes, 10 seconds into launch.
Yeah, so we got to try to turn that around and replay that for you if possible.
Jones and his team continue to monitor the progress of Discovery's flight. All systems are continuing to perform as expected.
After main engine cutoff, it's an 8.5-minute climb for Discovery into the blackness and the vacuum of space with the bright blue Earth below. You are watching live a camera mounted on the fuel tank of Discovery.
Discovery, you are pressed to ATO.
As we accelerate together
ATO.
to a speed 9 times faster than a rifle bullet.
Capcom Charlie Hobart indicating that Discovery has enough energy to make it to a lower than planned orbit should one engine fail at this point. However, all 3 engines continue to burn as expected.
If you saw...
Single engine ops 3.
If you saw the piece of debris hit, typically you're only concerned if some debris hits in about the first 2 minutes, roughly.
Discovery's engines are now swiveling to roll the shuttle to a heads-up position to get better communication with NASA's tracking satellites.
So 180-degree kind of spiral or spin for the shuttle.
Discovery, your single engine Zaragoza 104.
Isn't that something?
Single engine Zaragoza 104.
Discovery can now make it to emergency landing sites in Europe should 2 engines fail at this point, but the flight continues to go well. 6 minutes, 24 seconds into the flight, the shuttle traveling 9,800 miles an hour. Its altitude 67 miles, downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 447 miles.
Miko, BIM for you, nominal shutdown on all 3, and Pinto, you'll be go for the plus X and go for the pitch.
If we can get to it in the next 2 minutes, I was very interested in something that the launch director Mike Leinbach had to say.
A call from Capcom Charlie Hoba indicating that Commander Steve Lindsay has to go to press to main engine cutoff as expected in about a minute and a half.
Talking about all the thousands of people who truly love the space shuttles, especially this one, the hardest working orbiter. 38, now 39 missions, and that's it. Although I have to, as an aside, tell you that
15 seconds into Discovery's
the United Space Alliance, the company that prepares the shuttles for launch,
its altitude 66 miles,
wants to keep launching them,
15 miles.
Beginning in 2013, twice a year, for a lot less than NASA launches them. Keep 2 shuttles around, continue to launch them. That's a proposal that's out there on the table. I don't think it's too likely to be accepted by the government.
Shuttle traveling 14,000 miles an hour.
14,000 miles an hour. And we're a little over 30 seconds away from main engine cutoff.
Less than 30 seconds to go in Discovery's powered flight. We're coming up on main engine cutoff.
The fuel tank held, cracks, the leaks. They said they were fixed, and they are fixed. The crew is safe as far as we know.
Main engine cutoff confirmed. Space Shuttle Discovery now in space.
There we go.
External tank separation confirmed.
Isn't that beautiful? The thrusters fire. The tank will tumble into the ocean.
Commander Steve Lindsay will steer the shuttle up to the forward portion of the external tank so that the umbilical well camera can capture some images of it.
Discovery, we saw nominal MECO, OMS 1 not required, preliminary TIG for OMS 2, 3730. Welcome to you and your veteran crew back to space.
Copy, no OMS 1 required, 3730 preliminary TIG.
Just an amazing sight here at Kennedy Space Center this afternoon, and you want to talk about